Welfare is a type of government support intended to ensure that members of a society can meet their basic human needs, such as food and shelter. I'm going to go into the rise of welfare and what problems have stemmed from the use, and what programs are currently a part of welfare fraud, and some of the solutions that I've found. SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP is a federal program that allows millions of low income Americans to put food on the table. The paradox of redistribution and strategies of equality, welfare state institutions, inequality, and poverty in the Western countries discusses whether welfare should be universal, state, or even locally decided. Most of these decisions have been made based on affordable housing. Different states have different standards of living.
There's a very much a lack of affordable housing. And so it's really hard to live in a downtown area because sometimes that's the most expensive place to live. But yet that's where the jobs are. And so that's where you want to live in order to make money, but then when you're trying to make money, you're paying higher housing. And so, for example, you have to make over $15 an hour just to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment on average in America. And so that's, twice the basically income or the minimum wage. And so there's a lot when it comes between what you're getting paid versus what you have to pay for your housing. It doesn't match up many times, and that ends up having a lot of people in poverty.
Generational situations have become very prevalent when distributing food stamps and money. Single parent and or busy parents have an impact on the environment of the child, causing situations to occur that normally shouldn't happen.
With that, and then the generational thing where the parents don't understand, okay, well, my 12-year-old girl has a cell phone, and why is she taking naked pictures of herself and sending them to grown men? That's a huge disconnect. And that's where a lot of these problems stem from, because the parents just really don't know about what's really going on in the world today with teenagers. So all of us are so incredibly busy in our lives. Even though they're mostly Medicaid kids, it's even if it's not a single parent household and both parents are still in the household, they're working 2-3 jobs and they don't have time to spend with their kids and validate them and ensure that if they do have a cell phone, what they're doing on their cell phone.
Fortunately, education is a getaway from the poor environment during the day. Students can build their academic repertoire and skills that will help their situation in the future with advanced education and employment.
Now, renters education, what renters' rights are, and how to buy a home, how to get your credit score better so you can buy a home, all of these things. But if these people don't have transportation to get to those classes, they're not going to show up. I mean, they can't. And that's not going to be funded. The transportation is not going to be funded by their Medicaid, like that. And if you don't have the ability to do that, then what are you going to do? And it kind of just perpetuates that cycle of poverty.
In Olivia Giovanetti's How Does Education Help Poverty, she states 3 main ways that education affects poverty. Education develops skills and abilities. Education decreases risk and vulnerability. And education can fight inequality. Like a tree, poverty has many roots, but among the main causes of global poverty, one factor stands out: education. Not every person with an education is living in extreme poverty, but most of those living in extreme poverty do lack a basic education. Those living below the poverty line will also be more likely to keep their children out of school, which means that their children will also have a greater chance of living in poverty. Education is often referred to as the great equalizer. It can open the door to jobs, resources, and skills that a family needs to not just survive, but thrive. There are 6 major welfare programs. The 3 on the left, temporary assistance for those in need, Medicaid, and supplemental nutrition assistance programs, help with basic needs such as food and health for disabled and needy individuals. The 3 on the right, however, earned income tax credit, supplemental security income, and housing assistance help with financial needs for just about everyone, and housing for very poor individuals.
But like, what is the day-to-day person?
Usually Medicaid funded, so we're looking under the poverty line. And they're usually from Roanoke, so there's a lot of gang affiliations, stuff like that. I would say 80% of my clients that I see on a weekly basis have pretty significant trauma.
Okay.
Stems from neglect to verbal, physical abuse to sexual abuse.
Unfortunately, there are some people who use this system to their benefit. Most people work extremely many jobs to provide for their family. Although there is a negative connotation when I say welfare fraud, most people that are recorded welfare frauds just have a problem budgeting, or some other situation that is seen as abuse of the system. For the percentage that doesn't have problems like that, the American Journal of Economics and Sociology goes through welfare fraud and their solution to welfare fraud are for jobs. Their solution is just their title. If you offer jobs, then that money would be more than what the government offers. Even if they make money illegally and their money and their employment isn't in the books, then they cannot deny the job.
Look at those individuals. I feel like on some level they still need some of that help. Then there's got to be something underlying on other than money. Like why do you need that extra money? Is there, are you not able to budget correctly? Or, are you like me? Are you feeding the whole entire neighborhood of
From all the research that I had into this topic, there weren't many programs that lift people from under the poverty line. In my opinion, that should be the greatest pet peeve when looking at these individuals. The overlying solution that I found isn't really a program, it's the education system. Personally, I know a few people who were born in a very poor environment, but through education and working their butt off, they found themselves out of poverty and in a very good situation. Similarly, community centers also keep children from getting in trouble, and I think this can also contribute to the generational poverty.
What each of those programs were. We also looked into welfare fraud.
Small
and how
communities
most people just
have
need that
little
extra
programs on the local level that also help
fortunately,
sort of
there were some
poverty
innovations
gap,
that help with poverty to boost
between
for people
the
below that
wealthy.
line. I hope everyone became a little smarter today on welfare and some of the programs that help people.